Hey everyone, starting this video off under the Jeep instead of on top of the Jeep because I've got these track bars behind me that won't take any grease. This one, as you can see, there's a little bit of red on there, but this other one on the driver's side will not take any grease. So I made a short that I was going to make, but neither of them would actually take grease even whenever I cleaned them. So I'm going to pull these out real quick, show you the process of if your track bar has never been greased apparently, like this one I suspect, how you can actually bring this back to life assuming it's not too worn in and damaged. So let me show you what led to this discovery. So this is the side that would technically take grease, but these outer covers wouldn't hold, so there's a little bit of movement in there. A 21 millimeter socket is what worked to take this off. I believe the other side is the same, so just zip that off and I'm gonna knock that out. Now pay attention to how this is set in there, because there are washers that push this out to the respective side. Okay, so everything's been pretty easy so far except for this driver's side one, just because it's so close to the axle gear there. But you can get a 21 wrench on it, pull the other side with either an adjustable or 21 something, and just wind it off. It's going that way. Okay, now you can see here that there's the inner ball. The front looks different than the rear. I've already done the rears a few weeks ago because that was the initial complaint. But as you can see here, the grease just, basically shot out the side. So those rings right there, which I'll show you in a minute, are all seized up and not obviously holding that in place. The inner bushing looks okay. So yeah, I'm gonna get this cleaned up. Basically, there's part of it right there. That little curve, that's where you put your lock ring pliers in and squeeze the ring, pop it out, then you can clean up the chamber there. That one is non-serviceable, but we will try our best to clean it. But I do have eye protection on. Yeah, so that's what snap ring is. I'm gonna roll it over, get the other side. Nasty. So there's one pretty well cleaned up and there's the other one, and you can see it's just kind of a disaster. Probably gonna have to put this in the vise. Man, it's like frozen in there. So I don't know how well you can see this. But I am on there. And you can just barely see it coming out of that race. Yeah, so it's just snapping. So that's like another reason for the eye protection, but I'm gonna work this out. You can see it's starting to clean up all this crap, and then I'll get it pried out. Probably gonna need a flathead. So I'm gonna take this and just try to clean up in this bore. I'll rotate this so you guys can kind of see. And don't worry about it getting in there, because we're gonna take this whole thing apart. I wouldn't call it serviceable, but you can take it apart. And this is all pretty much just because of so many years of non-service. Right here, it almost looks like strawberry jelly, where there's the old grease that's like crystallized, basically. So, try this again. Yeah, I had to do this on the last one. Guess that's loose. But basically just try to work it out with a screwdriver while I was getting it pulled out. Okay, I think you're recording, but anyways, I've got this started. So basically you just don't want it to fall back in. So you basically just pull till you can get one and get started with a flathead. I think I had a skinnier one last time, but whatever. If you see me swatting, there's mosquitoes everywhere. There's one snap ring. So this is the one piece I was talking about. There's all that crystallized gunk, bad grease. I mean, it's literally just like solid. That's not rubber, it's literally just old grease. It's just disgusting. Yeah, I wonder why it's loose and rode bad. You can see it was wearing. Here's the other one. There's the other side. Nasty. Now this is actually a great concept of how this works. You've got your exterior retaining rings, and then in here you've got this, and the grease is what holds it in place. So like that's the only thing holding this thing in here is grease. So kind of crazy. Now, somewhere in there is where I cleaned up to get that red grease through, because the grease zerk is right there. So, yeah, if you have something that's been sitting for a long time, or a lot of miles without getting serviced, this is probably what problem you're having. So, I'm going to take that, some paper towels, clean everything up, put it back together, install it, and it'll be tight. So, I won't show you guys that. It's pretty much the inverse of this. If you have any trouble, just try to get one side started, take your screwdriver and pry it in. It wants to go back in its home. Obviously make sure that this ring land is clean in there. Other than that, you should be good. Now, what I do suggest is once everything's cleaned up, don't try to grease it outside of the truck. Take it, put it back in, get it tight. It's a bit of a finicky process. I would wear some gloves, not these, some like nitrile surgical gloves. 7mm tends to be what I have good luck with. Start running the grease. Just go buy an automatic grease gun. The manual ones don't work. And I know there's one guy who's, his is perfect, but they don't work in practice. I think I threw the last one at a tree, and that's been 10 years ago. But the automatic ones, Harbor Freight, they're pretty cheap, for example. But anyways, just start running that in. It's going to make a mess. You're going to have to float those rings a little bit. But once these start to fill with grease, they're going to go on the outside and hold that in place. You'll kind of get your, whatever this thing is, centered, and then it'll work out. It's a bit of a process, but you can do it. So this has helped me. The Jeep's been parked for 2 years because of this problem. So it happens. My father-in-law, once he finally explained it and I started tearing it apart, I was like, oh my gosh, totally makes sense. So yeah, just sometimes you just got to crawl under there, shake some stuff, and if this happens to be your problem, well, there you go.